Good morning, YouTube. I am here with Nori, where I am going to be prepping his bay. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna look a bit femme after I'm done with it. Okie dokie. So, I don't know where to start, but this engine bay is hella oily. We are gonna have to get multiple rags and make sure I wear gloves because my skin is hella sensitive when it comes to this. So the objective today is basically to remove as much as we can from this bay that we do not need for this K-swap, and also to clean it all up in the process. So it's going to be interesting because there's little things like this that I do not like and I do not need. So I'm going to have to find a way to drill out these spot welds if they have spot welds in here, and remove this as well. But I do need that hole that goes there for the intercooler because I'm not running a V-mount. I have decided it's very impractical for drifting. And yeah, so there's a couple of things we need to do here, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm just going to kind of wing it today and show you guys how I pull everything apart. And yeah, I guess it's just kind of one of those days where I just feel like working on the car and sharing it with you guys. So, alrighty, I am going to start removing stuff and I'll let you know little bits and pieces as I go what I'm doing, and more than likely this video will be mostly time-lapsed. So, yeah. I'm going to remove the fenders, and I am basically going to remove, I'd say the intercooler as well, just because I don't want to get paint and everything on it. So I'm going to start with that and then see how far we can get, and probably move on to things inside of the engine bay that are pretty easy to take out. What a way to say that. Okay, I'm going to show you something. I'm trying to take these fenders off, and if you have a really dodgy car like Nori, this is probably what's going to happen. Alright. So, I'm not too sure if you guys can see this on camera, but this part here has actually been bent up and folded over my metal fender. So I'm going to have to get some metal grips and try to work this back to its original spot. Alright, so I was going to leave it at that and just kind of take off the other side, but unfortunately these bolts here have been rounded. They are also very rusty, and same with the ones on the back. It's the same. I've sprayed it with some WD-40 to try to get it off, but unfortunately what's happened is over a long period of time people put jack stands on steels, as you can see, and then don't think of the consequences like me. So this is the consequences. So if you have a 180, don't put it on the seals, put it on the chassis rail underneath the car, this big thing here, the two that runs underneath. Get some wide jack stands and it will save your ass lots of time when it comes to removing your fenders. So what I'm going to do now is I have no choice, unfortunately, in this circumstance, because It's very hard to get these bolts off, and I don't have the correct tools for it. So I'm probably just going to do the good old Dremel off type thing. If I can, maybe I was suggested to potentially put the Dremel in between this and try to cut the bolt out, but I don't know how possible that is because it's so bent. So I'm probably just gonna actually have to cut a piece out of the fender and just slide it off type thing. At this point in time, yeah, it's a bit complicated. I guess I'll just have to figure it out. But yeah, there will be some dremeling happening at this point. Alright, so I just had a bit of a drink break. I am using this pineapple thing because it is plastic and I can't break it in the garage. So the fender is pretty much ready to be removed. And then I'm going to get onto the other side. I'm not going to show you guys the entire process again. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comments section below. If not, I am going to get started on removing some stuff in the bay. Out of the bay. Yeah. Alright. Wish me luck. Do a little bit of a tidy up because I don't get motivated when things are not tidy and ready. So what I did was I laid a tarp down. And I also, whoopsie, hung up a K-tuned banner just to get, you know, in the vibe. And the other fender is now also off, which is good. Lots of junk came out of that, so I'm really glad. I just vacuumed that up. And now I think I'm going to take off the intercooler, and also we're going to start to remove certain things like possibly the power steering, because I will be going electric, so that definitely needs to come out, and just some like little brackets and everything around the engine bay, including the overflow will come out. Okay, I think that's enough for today, guys. It's been spending pretty much all today on a Sunday figuring this out, but hey, look at the progression. Hey, hey, hey. We almost have a clear bay over here. Gonna be ready for paint soon. Sanding, prepping, painting, all that kind of stuff. And I'll be removing the dash as well. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with the dash specifically, but it needs to be removed anyway because I'm going to be spraying the whole interior white as well. But yeah, overall I'm actually very, very, very impressed with the progression with this car today. Just absorb this moment right here. That bar, man, that's making everything look dark. That just looks heavenly. But yeah, Nori looks a little bit sad right now. Looks a little bit bare, kind of looks like a bug. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, throw it in the comments below, as I said earlier. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time when I'm probably going to be pulling out the dash and sanding the bay.